Hello, writers. Come write with me. My name is Michaela Greenwood. I create worlds for mind adventures. Welcome to my channel, Write with Michaela. I'm very glad to have you join me on my channel. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you can go on this journey with me. Today we're going to explore the world of a well-known author who wrote under the pen name of George Orwell. He has written several books, including Burmese Days and Animal Farm. In today's episode, we are going to discuss Chapter 8 in a book club format of 1984. I expect you have read Chapter 8 before watching this video. The version I read is published by Signet Classics. The copyright was 1949, and the copyright was renewed in 1977. Okay, Chapter 8. Or if you're reading it, it might be VIII. So V with 3 I's. Winston walks down the street and smells coffee. Real coffee. Not victory coffee. He pauses momentarily until a door slams and cuts off the smell. He continues, and his varicose ulcer is throbbing. Tonight, he is supposed to go to the community center, and he is sure his missed attendance is marked. No one is supposed to have free time or alone time except for when in bed. Everyone has to work, everyone has to eat, everyone has to sleep. But if not, then they need to participate in community recreation. No. What are you doing? Okay. Computer is not cooperating with me. Okay. See if this works. Trying to get some alone time, even for a walk, was dangerous. And Newspeak called it own life. It's kind of illegal. You're not supposed to have your own life. Now, this was his second time in 3 weeks to miss, but the beautiful day was calling him. Winston is just walking and not paying attention to where he's going. He reflects that he wrote in his journal, "If there is hope, it lies in the proles." I haven't totally figured out this term, but it might mean the poverty-stricken. As he walks, the book describes the various people, the girls in bloom, the boys chasing them, the pregnant women, and so on. So he sees all these people. Most of the people pay no attention to Winston, but a few eye him warily. Winston picks up strands of conversations between two women, but their conversation stops when they notice him. His blue party overalls are unmistakable in this part of town, and if the patrols found him, they would ask him questions like when did he get off work, where he was going, or if this was his usual way to go home. And if they reported that to the thought police, it would not be good for Winston. Suddenly, there is a lot of commotion. People were running into their houses or running out, scooping up a child and running back in. A man ran towards Winston and told him to take cover. I lost my place. Winston believes the prole and wondered about their uncanny way to know a rocket or blast was coming. At this point, I'm sure the proles are poor people, and the area is similar to a ghetto. Shortly after Winston dove down, there was an explosion. Winston got up and had fragments of glass all down his back. Now, we as the readers realize why there are so many broken or boarded up windows in the description as Winston walked down the street. because it would be senseless to keep repairing when the bombs or rockets were so frequent. Winston sees... Oh my goodness, what did that just do? What did it do? Why did it do that? Okay. Undo, right? Great tool. Winston sees the building ahead that took the blast. The buildings, I guess. Okay. There's an edit here. I'm going to edit it real fast. He sees the building that was hit with the blast. It was demolished, and there is plaster everywhere. Winston sees a hard hat that was... No, sees a hand. Sees a hand that was severed in the blast, and he kicks it in the gutter. It disgusts him. He's just like, he sees the hand, and it's just... He kicks it in the gutter. He decides to leave the area, but I believe he is still in the poor area, and he sees the taverns or pubs start to fill. As he walks, he sees a man with a newspaper and two other men reading over his shoulders. Then the men start arguing about lottery numbers. One says, "None have ended in 7 in the last 14 months. But the other one says, "There has been." And says, "One ended in 4 or 7. 407. The first one says he has all the numbers written down. After Winston passes them, he reflects on the lottery. The proles, despite not being able to read, developed intricate systems to predict the numbers, and they somewhat depended on it to live. However, Winston knows that there were never any real big payouts. The person that won in a big payout, they didn't really exist. But since intercommunication between the different parts of Oceania was non-existent, no one would figure that out. Winston still feels that hope lies in the proles. Saying it felt good, but seeing the actual proles, the poor people, it was faith. Winston continues walking and doesn't know where he is. He gets a sense that he's coming to a main thoroughfare, but finds a little alley. Then he knows this is the area where he bought the diary and his pen and inkwell. Winston then sees a man that he believes to be in his 80s. Someone old enough to remember how things were. Most of these folks, the party purged or wiped out. And those not purged, the party terrified into intellectual surrender. And so Winston decides to go into the pub and question the man. Okay. Just why would Winston think this man would openly talk to him? That makes no sense. Even if Winston is doing things he shouldn't, like keeping a diary and taking a walk instead of attending community recreation, why does he think other people will boldly defy the party? Winston thinks that there is no rule not to talk to the proles or not to go to their bars, but it is strange behavior. He thinks if a patrol asks him, he would feign faintness, though he doesn't believe the patrol would believe him. Oh, I felt faint. As he enters, many conversations stop, and even a dart game stops. But the man that Winston is interested in is arguing with the bartender, and he is asking for a pint of beer. But the bartender uses metric and knows liters and half liters and doesn't know what a pint is. Winston offers to buy the man a beer and gets them half a liter each. Beer is the only thing available at the proles pubs. They head over to the deal table where they can speak without notice. Winston reflects that the first thing he did when he entered the pub was to look for the telescreen, or a telescreen, and that was missing from the place. Okay, I don't go to pubs, but to get away from the telescreen, I might come here too. Like, no telescreen, let's go. So at this point in the story, the pub patrons have forgotten about Winston in his party outfit. Winston asks about time before the war, and the old man responds that the beer was better and cheaper. Winston starts telling him that he only knows what the books say, and the books might not be right. Winston tells of how things were. He mentions all of the capitalists wearing top hats. The man remembers top hats, and wore one to his sister-in-law's funeral, but he rented the hat. Winston continues telling how capitalists are like lords and the working men are like slaves. He asks his questions, and the old man tells his memories. So Winston redirects the man a couple of times. Then Winston asked his ultimate question. Was it better before or now? The old man says that if asked, most would say that being younger is better, but there were advantages to being older. So Winston leaves the pub with no more information. He feels the older people had memories that were fading, and the party would always alter history, so no one could really compare things to before the revolution. So before we go farther, okay, so the man answered in a way that kind of didn't, it's like, Winston was like, is it better before or is it better now? And the man's like, most people will say it's better when they're younger, but being older hasn't been. So he didn't really say that things were better when he was younger. He just said being younger seems better most times. So he kind of didn't answer. So he's, in my opinion, he's kind of being careful how he answers Winston, because he doesn't want the thought police to come to him or whatever. So Winston leaves the pub. Winston just wanders until he's standing in front of the shop where he bought his diary, and the shop is open. So he steps inside. The proprietor of the shop recognizes him. Winston buys a paperweight, and the man shows him upstairs. The man is trying to sell everything. As Winston looks at things, he recognizes a church and a picture, and the man tells him part of a rhyme that mentions the church in London. Winston says, "There's no telescreen." The man agrees and said they were too expensive. So does that make you think maybe you shouldn't have bought the telescreen in the first place, you know? Now you just have to wait for it not to work anymore. After some time, Winston leaves. He plans on returning and purchasing some of the other beautiful relic, and he has a few remnants of the poem about the church in his mind. But after he steps out of the shop, he sees the girl with the dark hair. She wears the blue overalls and can't be missed. She looks at Winston, and now Winston is sure she is spying on him, because they are not anywhere near where the party would be. She walks past him and turns the wrong direction. He wonders if the rumors are true and she really is part of the thought police. Winston gets lost and comes to a dead end. He thinks he could run and find the girl and kill her, but he doesn't have the strength. He thinks of going to the community center for a partial alibi, but knows it's too late. So he's getting really scared here about this girl turning him into the thought police. He's very scared. If you read the chapter, you'll have more context of why he's thinking about offing her. Anyway, it's just like, she's going to tell on me. I have to get rid of this information. But so he thinks of it briefly. Now, finally, he makes it home and sits in the alcove. The telescreen had a woman singing songs, so Winston can't concentrate on writing. He tries to imagine O'Brien and what O'Brien said in his dream, that they would meet where it is not dark. Winston thinks that perhaps that is the future. He thinks about what is this thing doing? It's not letting me push buttons today. It's not letting me scroll. Okay. He thinks about killing himself, but his body protests. He thinks about the torture before the thought police kill people and thinks it would be better to just end it. They're going to come after me. They know things. The girl is going to tell on me. I'm just going to kill myself today and end it. I don't want to be tortured. Then the song changes, and he pulls out the coin with the phrases of the party. And that is the end of chapter 8, or VIII. So Winston is really trying to reaffirm his own memory that things were better before, but the old man wasn't much help. I think Winston is a little paranoid, but in this society, I might be paranoid as well. When he saw the girl with the dark hair, I thought maybe she was startled to see him, or she was as startled to see him as he was to see her. I also thought maybe she was a prole, or she is a prole, but somehow got a job at the Ministry of Truth and doesn't want anyone to know she's a prole. But Winston doesn't think that. He's just scared the party will find out about him. So I don't know about this girl yet. Then Winston starts panicking and thinking to kill her or kill himself. He is obviously scared of the party and the thought police. But after watching movies as he's had to watch, I would be scared too. The people in the boats that were just shot and stuff like that. It's just like so scary. They don't have trials. They don't have anything. It's just like, you thought this, you're killed. Or you're tortured and killed. You're tortured to see what else you thought against us, and then we're going to kill you. Leave a comment on if you like alone time. I'm an introvert. I thrive with alone time. I know extroverts are the opposite and need to be around people. So leave those comments if you like alone time and if you're extrovert, introvert. Leave a comment on if you would have asked the old man questions in the pub. After I heard him talking about pints, there was no telescreen. I might have asked a few questions, but still there are a lot of ears in a pub. Leave a comment on if you don't have much money and things are rationed, would you have purchased the paperweight? Or even the beer for the guy, the older guy? We wanted information, so I could see purchasing the beer. But the paperweight, would you have done that? Leave a comment on if when the proprietor remembered you and remembered your purchase, if that would have made you nervous. He's already paranoid. Would that have made you nervous? Also, leave a comment on if you think the girl with the short dark hair is spying on Winston, or if Winston is just being too paranoid. Well, I hope you enjoyed the 8th chapter of 1984. Make sure you leave your comments. Feel free to disagree with my thoughts. I'm not a professor. I didn't study English, any of that stuff. So I just have my thoughts. And this is a discussion. So leave your thoughts. Be kind to other people that leave their thoughts too. Somebody else's perspective would help us with our writing. So we don't want to knock it down. And remember, reading is good for writers. It helps us see how other people create their worlds. So read part 2. Now, so I told you at the beginning, let's see if I can find part 2. I didn't know how they did this book. Okay, I'm not going to find it too. Yeah, there it was. Okay, so in my edition, it says 2 there. So I think it's a part 2 and not a chapter 2 because it had all the Roman numbers in it. So I'm going to read from the word 2 into the the where it says the Roman numeral 2. I can find that real quick. Okay, so then the Roman numerals right there. I'm going to read from part 2 to Roman numeral 2 for the next part. So, and from looking at the pages, I think we're a third of the way through the book, and the chapters start over with the Roman numerals. Like I said, so I'll read from the word 2 to the Roman numeral 2, the 2 I's. Join me Friday for elementals. Join me Tuesday for jargon and a down soldier. Join me Wednesday for part 2 of 1984. Leave a comment on if you have an idea for a writing prompt or a term you would have me discuss or your favorite term so far. There are so many words and ideas. Or you could leave a comment on the next book club book for us to read. My thoughts are Lord of the Flies by William Golding, but I've also thought of Flowers for Algernon as well, so just leave those thoughts. Don't forget to visit my website by McKellar.com, read some character bios, and send your writing and chapters to writewithmckella@gmail.com. Leave comments on your favorite characters. If you hit the like and subscribe and the bell notification, let's see which one we're going to hit, then we will continue to write together and other people will have a higher chance of finding this video and this channel since your likes will push the video out to a greater audience. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate your participation. If you know someone who would like this video, please share it with them. This is McKella with Write with McKella. Bye for now.